You're a late customer. Well, come on in. Now, keep it down. Most of the neighbors are asleep right now. They actually don't approve of late callers, as I would call it. And I'm actually I'm going to scoot myself up a little closer towards you, even though I'm behind the counter. Um, Welcome to Jefferson Avenue Waystation. It is a pub, a bar, a board, whatever you might want it to be. And also keep in mind, my apartment's quite close, and so I don't want to wake up my wife, just in case she might come down here complaining about the noise, and well, she's the last person I want to disturb. I won't get into that. Anyway, are you looking for a beer? Are you tired of that thin, golden covered beer, or colored beer? Not golden covered, it's gold through and through. This beer is not just black color covered, it's black colored through and through, and it is called MacAdam's beer. It is an imperial stout, aged for an incomprehensible amount of time. Not forever. I mean, I know forever is an incomprehensible amount of time. Infinity is an incomprehensible number. Though it's not really a number, it's more of a preset or an axiom, I suppose. It could be the answer to a mathematical equation if indeed that equation is not possible. If it ends in what would say a dead end. Anyway, I won't keep you waiting any longer. I will give you the beverage you need because I can tell that eventually you're going to have to go home. It's after midnight. All the bars are emptying out, and you thought I won't find any other place to go left here. I don't want to. I want to go home. Why? Because I still feel like I'm going to continue this small life that is the day. No, no, you have to go home eventually. You have to accept the small death that is sleep. But enjoy the twilight of this small life. The small life that has continued past the midnight of yourself. I'm getting a little too far into my little unsettling metaphor, so I will pour you your happy glass of MacAdam's beer. I had to find one last glass because I had actually a pretty lively business day. Oh, uh-oh. Overfilled it a little bit because I had a hard time with that handle there. There is a part in Samuel Beckett's play, Waiting for Godot, where the cruel slave master Pazzo says to either Gogo or Didi, he says, have you not done finished tormenting me with your accursed time? Now, it's not Vladimir or Estragon's time. It's not theirs. Or is it? Did they own that time? They weren't really using that time well. And they weren't really spending it either. They were trying to destroy it. They were trying to fill it up with nothingness. And at one point, they were trying to reach the end goal of nothingness. They thought that they would kill themselves. But is that what they wanted, really? Because in the interim of explaining it, one of them said they would give them an erection. Now, a lot of literary critics have argued that their behavior resembles that of a married couple. So maybe that's why they were excited to have erections from hanging themselves. I'm not the one to answer this question. Many people come to me for my ability to answer questions, and they leave unsatisfied. It's a quiet death of their hopes. They think that all will be illuminated, that this won't be something that will be esoteric to me anymore. No, it'll be one of the more clear, well-defined things in my life. Like any sort of mainstream television show, like any sort of Yeah, I can't answer your question more than I have because I don't have anything so definite in my life. All I have is this beer, which is similar to a liquid. I wish, you know what, I mentioned normal beer a minute ago, and I'm kind of tired of this putrid feeder like near liquid that is MacAdam's beer. Are you tired of it? I guess you don't drink it very often. Well, most people don't. I suppose it's not very popular for a reason, and that is because it only fills up an insignificant portion of your life. It is a fleeting interest. That's why I don't have very many customers, because what I represent to everybody is only a small portion of their life. It's the high school period of their life where they believe that they have reached that level of esotericism. Where was I going there? I don't know. I've drank a lot of MacAdam's beer in this day myself. I couldn't help it. I paid myself $10 for each of that. By the way, you saw the sign outside, right? You weren't so bleary from your other trips to other establishments that you didn't see that sign, right? You saw it. You're a good person. You're a fantastic person. Last week, I told a customer that they were the only good customer, and I've been proven wrong. I've I've been shown to be a nasty, thieving person, and I am. I don't mind being proven wrong. If I give some sort of disparaging remark to all of humanity, if I say humanity is bad and is rotten all through and through, and someone proves me wrong, I will be glad to be proven wrong. And I cannot tell you whether humanity is wholly good or wholly bad. I can't tell you that. It doesn't seem like those words really apply to a species of animal, strictly. I mean, I can't even tell you if cockroaches are good or bad. They just happened. They happened the way the conditions made them. I mean, the bad is only when it contradicts with your agenda. Strictly, isn't that so? I'm asking you, and you don't have to answer. Agenda has an inherently negative connotation. It sounds like a plot that someone has. It sounds like a long con, but really, it's just your intention. It's just the package of your intentions. Me, I have a lofty package of intentions, and most of them have been marked work in progress. Most of them I put through the work of the most interesting tasks, and then I unconsciously deemed the project satisfactory. I closed it, and I went on to another project. Not before patting myself on the head and telling myself that is a good day's work, and then abandoning that project. So, is my agenda, does it have any substance, or is it composed of incomplete atoms? Really, when you look at the atomic structure of who I am, most of them do not have electrons that number up to the protons inside. It's very uneven. Is that even how they work? Well, Christ, I haven't learned about particular physics, or it's probably called something else than particular physics. But that's how long it's been, is that I don't remember at all what it's called. But they taught me everything back there. I had a brilliant teacher. She was a nuclear physicist back in some college. She operated her own reactor core. She was brilliant. and she was teaching a high school class. Is that good? Is that what she wanted? Is that what you would want of her, given her skills? And all I would tell you is that if that's what she wanted, and you expected more of her and gave her disdain for that reason, I would say that you are the bad one. It is not your choice to make what you do with someone's incredible skills. That is their implement. True, there is, in other cases, there might be some selfishness entailed in such a thing. If you had the ability to resurrect someone who could save the world and you chose not to because it didn't suit your agenda, maybe that would make your agenda bad. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you if there was an objective aspect of this whole scheme. Is there a way to say that there is a good and bad without human opinion? Does good or evil exist without humanity? Or at least without humanity's opinion, without humanity's say-so? I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, aren't I? You know why I'm saying the same thing over and over again? It's because I cannot convince you of my idea. And I don't have an answer to your questions. Oh, actually, no, you were asking for another beer, weren't you? That I do have an answer to that question, and that is another $10, please. Thank you. Now I'm gonna get it on time this time. There you go. Sir? Yes, sorry, I'm sorry. That's obvious. I don't have to ask you that. I can ask my eyes that, and they will tell me in an instant. Well, not in an instant. They will tell me in an instant. And then my brain will have to take some time to process that. Now, you see, right now, it is 1 o'clock. Is it a Saturday? I consider it a Saturday, even though a strict person might call it a Sunday. And here you are drinking on a Sunday morning, or like some sort of degenerate. You know what? I'm going to join you two drinking on this very early Sunday morning, like a creeping cretin. That's all right. I wouldn't blame someone for drinking on a early Monday morning. How early? Well, the earlier the better. Because if you were drinking at 6 o'clock in the morning, you might be running into some trouble. And if you haven't gone to bed yet, well, you're going to have a hard day going forward. Who taught me this? Benjamin Franklin. Who taught him that? He never cited his sources. And I'll tell you, I read his autobiography. Utter shite. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry for the language. I've told people before that there's some sort of invisible curse that wraps around my neck like an energy lasso and asphyxiates me if I swear. Who does this? Some sort of hidden ultra-orthodox witch. Now, is that possible, those two things? Can you be ultra-orthodox and Wiccan at the same time? Yes. And that is what kept the nation of Ireland together. Was there a nation on Ireland before the British finally took hold of their country? Was it the British that took hold of their country? Because they used to be known as Hibernia? Hibernia. And who called them that? Good question. It sounds like Latin. Then again, to someone who doesn't speak Latin, every word in all of the human languages sounds like a Latin word. El Paso? Well, that's an Etruscan city, isn't it? Yeah. Beijing, clearly that's a part of the old Carthaginian sea-based maritime empire. Nowadays, you can't just have a purely maritime empire. You have to have a land base. Why? Because you need production. Why? Because you need to keep the human population going and going, and then where is the end game in that? Well, there is no end game because there is no person that lives longer than a normal human lifespan. Well, yes, of course, there are many people that live beyond the average human lifespan, and they maintain that average as much as the people who die at an early age. These people work together to keep that average lifespan at some age, which I'm willing to bet very few people die at that age. You say average, you're very unlikely to be average because that average is maintained by so many outliers. So many outliers on either direction. Someone might have written a book about this. I haven't read a book since college, maybe. And I had to read a great many books in college, at least one a year. Now, you might not think that's a lot, and it isn't. I would actually encourage you to read more than one book a year. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to read more than a book in less than a week. Difficult. That's a difficult task, but it can be done, especially if you're very intelligent. That's all you need to do. All you need to do is have a very quick wit and a very tireless, hard-working brain and eyes that don't tire very quickly and fingers that can quickly sort through pages. And what does that get you eventually? Eventually, well, you'll be highly regarded in a small circle because you can't brag about such things. Most people won't be impressed by that. Rather than being impressed, they will be annoyed at your pedantry. But we can't so much call someone like that a show off or a know it all or an Uncle Smart Pants, especially if you're 5. That's what you might call them. No, we on the outside we must respect the intellectual. I'm getting very close to the basis of fascism here, so I will not backtrack but continue forward and say you should respect intellectual people. That propriety comes from somewhere. Why? Well, they have worked hard to maintain that intellectuality. They have gained it from an understanding, not just from an innate talent and a highly powered brain, but they have worked hard to learn a great deal. Most people are too busy for that. Not so much too busy, but not really disciplined enough for that. But you can do it. I think you can do it. For all I know, you might be the most talented person who's ever gone through these doors. I can see it in your clear blue eyes. Oh, you're blind. I'm sorry. They're literally clear, aren't they? They're literally light passes through as if it was the medium of air. Light passes through like a clear pool on a winter day. Now, I was trying to be poetic, but really I was being incredibly insulting just now, and I apologize. I hope that your blindness has not made your life overly hard, even though it has more than likely done so. Well, I hope you're also not lying to me and just making fun of my expense, but I don't think you are. I don't think that most people have it in their agenda to trick people for no reason. Me, all I have in my agenda is to serve you MacAdam's beer. And I am always pleased when people pay me for that. Why? It doesn't happen very often. But I haven't lost trust in people. Eventually, everyone's going to pay me for every drink. Or at least the average person will pay me for the average drink. I guess that's a one-to-one data set. So all I need is just more than half. And I break even. Everybody's good. Everybody's kind. And you're the kindest of them all. So far, at least. We'll see how the next person goes. Well, it looks like you're getting tired. You're drifting towards the table you're sitting at, and you don't seem to be leaving a tip. I won't compel you to leave a tip. I will strongly encourage it, though, before you fall asleep at my table. I will also strongly encourage you not to do that, because I cannot trust you to be here by yourself. Unfortunately, I don't trust many people to be here by myself. I'm the only person that can be here by myself. Why? This is a temple of beverage, and I'm its bishop. No, that might sound like I'm attributing more importance to myself than I deserve, but here we are. And there you are. You are asleep. Hey, excuse me. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. You have a good night, all right? Get home safe. Maybe drink some water. I can't give you any water. The only sink I have is in the alleyway. And, well, I tend to encourage people not to drink that water, if possible, unless their life is threatened due to a dearth of water. Anyway, good night. Have a good week this coming week. And come back next weekend when the morning is young and when the sun has yet to shine. Anyway, this is Jefferson Avenue Waystation. Good night.